Can I offer to pay a coworker's vet bill? I am not op. Original post from Ask a Manager. You can read the original, along with Allison's advice here, posted on February 14th, and the update here posted on February 28th. Mood spoiler. Sweet and wholesome. Less than. Can I offer to pay a coworker's vet bill? I am a relatively high earner at my current job. I have a very friendly relationship with an office assistant, who doesn't earn nearly as much as me. I know because I used to have his job. He has been telling me lately about a cat he has who has been having some health issues, but he cannot afford to take it to the vet. I find this to be very heartbreaking because I also own a cat and can only imagine how hard that is. I want to anonymously do something to help, like either leave an envelope of cash on his desk before he comes in one day, or slip it into his bag when he's in the restroom or something. Though I don't know how I'd explain this if he caught me. I think I'd look very suspicious. I'd want to attach a typed note like, "Please use this to take Rex to the vet." The biggest problem I'm having is that I'm too worried he'll figure out it's me. I don't know if he's told anyone else about his cat, and I ask about how it's doing sometimes. I think this would make our work relationship feel awkward. He doesn't report to me or anything like that, but the nature of his role means that he assists me with requests I send to him. Also, because I used to have his job, I'm often helping to train him on things if his usual trainers aren't available. Side note: before anyone says, "Don't get a pet you can't afford," the cat was a rescue he didn't necessarily want, but it had no one else to take it and would likely have been put down if he hadn't taken it in. The previous owner basically left it at his doorstep. He loves it very much and wants to take good care of it. Anyway, what do you think of my idea? Any tips? Update 2 weeks later. I reached out to my coworker the evening that the letter was published. I texted him and made the offer to cover the testing for a diagnosis, up to a certain amount of money, and that if he was uncomfortable with it, he was free to ignore the text completely. He responded back and was very grateful for the offer. He said that he had just been telling his partner that he wished someone would offer to help him. I told him he could just call me from the vet's office and I would give them my card information. Neither of us brought it up at work. We both acted like our normal, friendly selves, as if the conversation had never happened. I didn't hear any updates on the cat for over a week, and I didn't want to ask, afraid I would make him feel pressured. So I waited. On Friday, about a week and a half after I made the offer, he texted me that he was on the phone with the vet and they just had something open up and could squeeze him in that day. And was I still willing to help? I told him yes. He took the cat to the vet and was very sure they were going to find something terrible and that he would have to have the cat put down. Fortunately, it was only a very severe infection. The vet called me and I paid for the testing and the antibiotics, which only added up to about half of what I had offered. That was Friday. And today is Monday. And he told me that the cat has improved drastically already. It sounds like most of the symptoms have cleared up after some aggressive antibiotics. There's still a little ways to go before the cat is 100% better. But it sounds much less miserable now. I'm glad to have a happy ending for you. My relationship with my coworker doesn't feel awkward at all, and we are still just as friendly as always. Thanks again so much to you and your readers for advice. This is a repost sub AAM, not the OOP. OOP is a good person. So is the coworker for taking in the rescue kitty. I love this. Good people coming together to do good things. Glad kitty is gonna be okay. Oh, to be a wealthy benefactor who can assist in saving random cats and only has to worry about how awkwardly my generosity comes off. All jokes aside, lovely human being. If there is an afterlife, Op will have lots of meows putting in a good word on his behalf. I feel like a tiny paw has just sat on my heart. I love this outcome. And the coworker who helped their assistant. My old housemate was a vet tech, and she said on more than one occasion someone walked in and paid all the bills of everyone in the waiting room. It helps that we live near where a bunch of rich people have vacation homes, but it's still heartwarming when it happened. Ah, this was a welcome palate cleanser. My cat was recently very sick. Long story short, what we thought was cystitis was recurrent bladder stones. Eventually he needed urgent surgery to deal with them all. I became very acquainted with the vet and the clinic vet who coordinated his care together for the past few months. I'm in medical school in a high-call area, so my finances are shot at baseline. Between all of the vet visits, initial treatments, and ultimately the surgery, it came out to like $3,000. I'm talking to my financial aid office in the next few weeks because I think I'm gonna have to take out some private loans to cover it all. Between the financial stresses and my worries about my cat's health, I was maxed out emotionally. The last time I saw the vet was because my cat started having symptoms again 2 weeks after his surgery. I was worried sick that the stones were back, or he had some post-surgical infection, or something like that. Thankfully they took an X-ray and he had a few teeny stones. But we got the stone analysis back the same day, and it turns out he has the kind of stones that can be dissolved with diet. So I went to the front counter with a prescription for his new diet and some painkillers. The secretary told me that the vet had taken care of this visit for me. Friends, I burst into tears. Lol. In excellent news, my baby has been healing wonderfully. He loves his prescription food and he's right back to his goofy loving self less than 3. Alas, no cat tax. Glad all is well with the kitty and between the humans. I love every bit of this. Someone who wants to help but doesn't want it to feel like an obligation. The person who needs help for a sick animal and wishes for help. Then everything falls into place and has a happy ending to boot. Perfection. Well done. Oop. I hope the coworker, the cat and Oop are all still happy and healthy, being awesome. This feel-good story feels like an I should sign off now kind of happy. What a lovely person. Oh gosh. The first time I had to take my elderly foster failed Ginger to the vet for a chin abscess, I was 100% sure they were going to find something fatally wrong with him and 75% sure I could afford the fee either way. Little did I know he'd be with me for another 7 years. Miss that boy, and I am glad I adopted him. Even if the internet would have yelled at me for not being able to afford the worst scenarios at the time. I feel this hard. Glad Kitty made a recovery. I hope they get many more years together. I love the Rainbow Angels of the World. Great thing to read before bed. When my cat got sick, I spent thousands and he passed away anyway. My boss gave me a very generous donation towards the specialist's bill, which was incredibly kind. It still took a really long time to pay it off, but having such a large portion taken care of was both financially and emotionally a massive help. This cat mama heart is so very happy. And on this endearing and heartwarming note, I am exiting Reddit today. Bless for Oop. Sparkles. Awesome. I wish more well-off people were like this. Another solution I thought of. If you have the person's number, call a vet near them and tell them what's up. Ask if they'd be willing to reach out to the coworker and let them know a benefactor who wishes to remain anonymous has offered to pay for pet's name. S care. This is so wholesome. Good people still exist in this world. I'm over $15,000 owed from my dog's healthcare and cremation, just from the past 2 months. I would be so elated for anyone to help. Even $1. That coworker is an angel. I'm loving this trend of wholesome posts.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Haircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.